Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and you are welcome to the Shabbat of this morning. The parasha that we're going to discuss about this morning is Parshas Emor, which translates to say, to relate, or to tell. As I just give you the quick overall of the parasha, the path that we're going to take this morning. The parasha of this morning talks about a lot of things, a lot. It talks about the law of the Kohanim. It talks about the law of the Kohen Gadol. It talks about the blemish. If the children of Aaron is blemished, that means that if there is in the children of Aaron that is blind, that has a scale in the eyes, or that the eyelashes is too long, or that is lame, or that has a problem, or that doesn't have, this is called a bridge, doesn't have this in the nose, that child cannot come and serve in the temple. No. So now the issue now is, if we read all these things, if we want to rationalize it with our 21st century mentality, we're going to say, why is God discriminating? You know, it is discrimination. Did I want myself to be born like that? I didn't want myself to be born like that. I was born like that, and God is discriminating me. People that have no idea, people that have no understanding, they talk rubbish. Okay? This is what God is even making that law for their own purpose, for their own benefit, to benefit them. Because the work of the temple is rigorous. The work of the temple is hard. You need to take up animal. The bull, you know how many kilograms is a bull? Bull is like 1,000 kilograms. That is heavy. How can someone who is lame, who cannot walk, carry a bull that is 800 kilo? So it is for their own benefit. That law is for their own benefit. Remember that the law of God is perfect. God is not trying to discriminate against them. God is actually using the law to help them, because the work is hard. The man can eat. He is a son. He is the son of the Kohen Gadol. He is a Kohanim. He can eat of the sacrifice. He can do all those things, but he cannot come and serve in the temple. And so we have other laws. Also, we have the law of the Torah. We have the law of the festivals. We have all other festivals that God gave to us: the Pesach, the Omer, canting, the Yom Toruah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, and so on and so forth. So all those things we are going to talk about them this morning. But what I'm going to put my keynote on is on Pesach. Why? Today is not Pesach, but that is where the keynote I'm going to talk about. So I want us to understand why Pesach, or why Hametz, or why Matzah. What is the contradiction, or what is the differences between these two? That is the most important thing I want to talk about this morning. And I subtitle the parasha of this morning as Matzah is anything that is potentially Hametz. Matzah is anything that is potentially Hametz. And what that mean about that? What I mean about that is every matzah has the potential to be Hametz. Remember, last week I said, I want to link it together with the message of last week. I said last week that every Yaakov has what? Has Esau. Every Yaakov has Esau. All of us are Yaakov, but in us there is Esau. There is that dark side. You need to understand. Every human being has his own dark side. And today again, God is trying to continue on that line, trying to tell us that every matzah has the potential of being Hametz. All of us are holy. Matzah is holy. Matzah is simplicity. But we have the potential to be contaminated. We have the potential to go to the other side. Even though you try to be holy all your life, there is that potential that someone can be affected on the dark side. And that is what we want to talk about this morning. At the beginning of Parshas Emor, the book of Leviticus is in the ritual mode. We are in the ritual mode now. You know what kind of ritual, kind of laws, what kind of thing that God is telling us. Still more rules about the Kohanim. God is giving them more rules. The rules of the Israelites. The whole congregation. God said, all Israel is holy as I am holy. All Israel is a priest, right? So God is now God took a family, a tribe, as I said, took a tribe out from the tribe of Israel, and God took the Levites. He said, the Levites shall not have any property, no land, for I am their property, right? You shall feed them, you shall give them everything that they need for them to serve me in the temple. And when they serve me, I will bless you, right? Remember that. Okay, and from the tribe of Levi, God took a family out, the family of Aaron. He said, okay, Aaron, your family shall be the Kohanim. And there is somebody who is going to be Kohen Gadol. So this is what God is doing. So God gave them a particular rules and regulation. What the Kohanim can do, Israelite cannot do. What the Israelite can do, the Kohanim cannot do. And then God makes somebody a Kohen Gadol. What Kohen Gadol can do, the Kohanim cannot do. What the Kohanim can do, the Kohen Gadol cannot do. Alright, so it's balanced. What to do when the Kohen comes in contact with the dead. Alright? So God gave us all kinds of rules. He gave us, he was talking to the Kohanim concerning who they can marry, that they cannot cut the edge of their beard, not to make a cut on their body, you know, like people that make tattoo. You know the tattoo? That's the point. You cannot make a tattoo on your body. That's what God is saying. For your body is holy. It's a temple of God. So, and in those days, all the people of those land, of the Canaanites, are living on the land, that is their art. When somebody died, they cut themselves. Or when they want to talk to their God, they cut themselves, their blood comes out, they put it on their gods. And God said you cannot do that. So all we need to understand why God is saying this. And he also continues, you shall not make a bald spot on your head. There is a kind of a, I don't want to mention the religion, we have them now. We see them in the center of their head, they make a bald spot. Like in the bald spot, you can see them, they're in Rome, you know, they make a bald spot in their head. And that is a symbol of idolatry, which those Canaanites are doing. And God says, you shall not do that. He also continues, and now he's talking to concerning the Kohen Gadol, what the Kohen Gadol can do and what the Kohen Gadol cannot do, which also follow with the descendants who can come close to God among the descendants of the Kohen Gadol, and who cannot come close to God concerning the descendants of the Kohen Gadol. And he gives us all the rules of the festival. It talks about the festival of Shabbat. It talks about the Passover. It talks about the Omer. It talks about Shavuot, Yom Toruah, as I said, and Yom Kippur and Sukkot. So all those festivals, God talks about it in this parasha of this morning. As I said, but we're going to focus our attention on the particular festival of Pesach, which is the Passover. God also gives the rules for the lighting of the menorah and the rules for the showbread. Okay. As we read in the Torah this Shabbat, there are offerings that were to be brought by the ancient Israel that could not be consumed or prepared with Hametz or the living. This commands to Israel and the biblical priests to bring the various sacrifices were for occasion other than Passover. It's not only on Passover that they have to bring that. There is some other festival that they cannot bring a living to the temple. Only the unliving. So the question is, yet the instruction does remind us of Pesach, because most of the instruction of this festival do remind us of the festival of Pesach, where Moshe Rabbeinu and Israel were told to consume the lamb, which is the meat, only with unleavened bread, the Matzah. It seems that there is a distinction between Hametz and Matzah. God is making a distinction that exists in the Torah, in the Hebrew tradition, that separates from that of Passover. When I point this out, I am often asked how this could be or could be so. We eat Matzah on Passover, right? Okay. Because in Israel's haste to leave the land of Egypt, they did not have time to properly make their bread and other provision, right? That is what the Torah said, which is in Exodus chapter 12, verse 34. That is what it tells us, which is right. But the question now is, but at the time of the Passover narrative in the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 15 to 20, God tells Israelites something quite different. Because we have the idea that, oh, why are we eating the matzah? If I ask everybody, well, oh, okay, I know it. Okay, why? It's okay because the bread has no time to what? To raise up. And that is why they pack everything in here and we run away from the land of what? In the land of the Mizraim, the land of Egypt. Right? Because there was no time. Right? That's what the Torah says. That is true. But the question now is, Torah also tells us something a little bit different. That the Israelite has 2 weeks to prepare. God, Moshe told them 2 weeks ahead what is going to happen. And so therefore the people has time to prepare for everything that they need to leave the land of Israel. But they did not. They have time. God told them, you shall take a kid, right? On the 10th, you keep it for 4 days. You check it. On the 14th, in the evening, you shall kill it. So even though on the 14th, they can still say, okay, I can prepare my bread 8 o'clock in the morning and prepare to rise before evening time. But there's a thing that we have to understand that the Torah is teaching us. The Torah is pointing to a particular thing. Let's see. 2 full weeks before the departure, our ancestors were told what could occur and how they were expected to behave and mark this wondrous event. 2 weeks before the angels of death will pass over Israel's home in search for the firstborn of the Egyptians. Moshe learned that every household was to select its lamb in 10 days and then slaughter the animal on the eve of the 14th day. Right? This was the original observance of Pesach. And then Matzah, we shall eat Matzah and maror also, right? That's what the Torah said. We could ask, if the Israelite has 2 full weeks to prepare for the departure from Egypt, why did they not prepare their food in advance for the journey? That's the question. Why? Why waiting to the last second, to the last minute, and say they're kicking me out of the land when you have 2 weeks to do that? Why does the actual moment seem to catch them up, to catch up our forefathers unprepared? We are not prepared. The answer lies in our own nature, the nature of human beings. Our nature is this: we procrastinate. Okay? Without. We often don't pay attention to what is really happening around us. We often think it's a joke until when it happens. Remember, I don't blame them. We are human beings. We are their descendants. Their blood flows in our veins. It's the same. Till today, we are still the same. No change, no different. According to our sage, I said that the plague, right, takes 10 months. Every month, 1 plague, right? That's what our sage said, right? Now, Moshe came. Oh, God said, I should deliver you, right? In the first month, for example. And we are going out of the land. According to the Torah. The Torah said Moshe went to Pharaoh. Let my people go to serve me, right? The people are happy. Hey, we are going. Then, instead of them saying they are going, Pharaoh hit them more. Make the work even more hard. So, what is going on? The second month, that they didn't go. The third month, this Moshe, he's playing me. People get tired. This Moshe, what he's saying, I don't think it's going to happen. 4th month, 5th month, 6th month, 7th month, 8th month, you know what? I'm tired of this guy. He just playing with me. They thought it's a joke. They procrastinate. Okay, let's see. Because we don't know. Maybe this month it's not going to happen. Because he's telling me now since 10 months ago it's going to happen. Nothing happened. But actually, it happened. The procrastination of us. We procrastinate. That means the meaning of procrastination meaning we tend to leave things to the last minute. It's either about to do it before and get prepared and get ready. Say, I don't know. That this guy, this prophet only tell me. But that is the same thing. The prophet have been pronouncing, right? The day of judgment is coming. Stand up, prepare for the kingdom of God is at hand. You said, last year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 5,000. Now it's already what 2,000 years. The Messiah is not coming. I mean, it's a joke. But when the Messiah will come, the Messiah himself said that the Son of Man shall return like a thief in the night. By the time when you relax your head, you are playing with your wife, the Messiah will come. So we, all of us, individually, has to get ready. Now what the Torah is telling us here, do not procrastinate. Do not say, okay, I will repent tomorrow. I will make amendment next year. This year, God, please, let me do all my bad thing. Let me do all the criminal thing. Let me go and embezzle the bank. Let me go and do fraud. Next year, I repent. How do you know that you are going to live until next year? That's the point. So, God is teaching us a particular thing here. Let's see. So, they continue. He says, we can also ask about the symbolism and the characteristic of living and unliving food that we are so careful about during the Passover, during the Pesach. I always start with the following definition. Since Matzah is made from 5 of the same grain that produce bread. And what are these grain? We have wheat, barley, oat, rye, and spelt. All these 5 things can produce bread and they can produce matzah. Matzah is anything that is potentially Hametz. Remember, from all these 5 things, we can use them to make what? To make beer, to make drink, alcoholic drink. You see, matzah is anything that is potentially Hametz. Each and every one of us has the potential to do evil. But God is telling us, stay on the right side. Everybody has the potential to disobey. But God is saying, continue to be simple, to be obedient. In our attempt to reenact the experience out of which our ancestors and heritage emerge, God is asking us, what is matzah? Matzah is that simple food, the food of the slave. That's matzah. Nothing there. Just flour and water. There is no, all those goody. No chocolate. No salt. No salt. Put some salt. No anything that is interesting that can make it taste different. Because the master, who is Hametz, the pride, is a man. He has all those goody. But as a slave, you don't have those luxurious. You don't have it. And God is giving us this examine this morning that we have to be simple. Israel as a nation is simple. Very, very simple. That is where we came from. It's written in our DNA. You have to be as simple as anything. You have to be as there's a word that the Messiah talks about, that you have to be wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. To be very, very simple. Very simple. Slave ate matzah. The slave's humble position and lack of personal status require him or her to serve the will of his oppressing master. His behavior could not reflect a will of his own. The slave is the most humble, or rather the humblest of life. In contrast, the master exalted himself and believed that others must do his bidding. He was a lavish style of food and life. In his own arrogance, he convinced himself that his rule was law. His wish is a command. His behavior reflects a will only of his own, the ego. That is what the Hametz is. The will, I am the God. That what who said? Who said so? Pharaoh. I am the God. There is no God. I am the God. So, and God is telling us, God is giving us this example. Israel is the Matzah. Hametz is Mizraim. Hametz is Egypt. You have, we individually and collectively, and we have the potential to be like Egypt. Because we have the positive side and the negative side. We have to understand that. Every matzah has the potential to become hametz. If you take a matzah now, you put what I need, you put what I need, you put yeast, cover it, it becomes hametz. It becomes alcohol. It ferments. That is it. So everybody has the potential to ferment. But God is telling us that we have to be obedient, we have to be simple. That Israel is a servant. The servant of the Most High God. You cannot be proud, for you have nothing to be proud about. Your pride should be in your Creator, the Lord, the God of our fathers. Not to be pompous, not to be proud. Like what we can see in our present day Israel. And which our fathers, which our forefathers have been crying about against all our life. You cannot depend on the nation. The Torah said, woe is the man that depends on a man. But blessed is the man that depends on God. The nation of Israel now will depend on who? We depend on a man. We depend upon the nation that we call the most superpower in the world. We depend upon the United States to defend us. Who are you? God is saying, Israel is of God, not of a man. Israel has to put his hope in his God, not in a nation. Israel is a servant, not a master. Because we can see many people say, oh, Israel has to dominate. Where did you see that in the Torah that Israel has to dominate? It's not written in the Torah anywhere. Israel is always a subservient to God and to humanity, to man. Because we are the servant of the people. The Messiah said, for you to be a master, you have to be a what? A servant. A true servant is a master. We are the light bearer that bear the light, the eternal light. We are the servant that the light, people think that for you to be the head is simple. No, I just gave us the example of Kohen Gadol. The Kohen Gadol is the head. He has to live in the sanctuary for the rest of his life. He cannot go out. Technically, he's in a jail, in prison. He can go out, but he's the head. This is the same thing. We, the Israelites, bear the light of God, the eternal light. A man who bear light, do you think it's easy to bear the light? It's not easy, my friend. You know the heat, when you hold a light, there is a heat coming from the light that is hitting you. It's hitting you seriously. You are sweating, right? But you cannot take the light and throw it away. God said, hold the light. We hold the light. But the light is hitting us intensely. But we have to be patient. It's hard. But we have people who are proud. Israel. Oh, we have atomic bomb. Who are you? Your atomic bomb will save you on the day of judgment. That is the point. You don't think we save you, only our God that has saved us from the generation to generations before. Our hope should be in our God, not in one politician. Not in a man, not in a country. Because we are turning the Matzah into a Hametz. In the present day country called Israel. We could become proud and pompous. I have achieved, I have attained. I am the master. No, we are not the master. We are the slave. We have to serve our God. We have to serve humanity. We have to bring humanity back to God. We have to bring all human to God. That is the purpose of Israel. We cannot mix with the nation. Why is people trying to make us to mix? Because the politicians want us to do that. Oh, Israel, no. They begin to do what the worldly people are doing. They turn Jerusalem to the headquarters of immorality. They turn Jerusalem, the city of God, the holy city, to the city of gay and lesbian. Which God said it is absolutely unacceptable. It's not what God is saying. You cannot mix with the nation. You cannot mix. Let everybody do what they are doing. I am not against anyone. But I want to just make myself clear, please. But I'm saying what the Torah is saying. The word of the Torah, which is eternal. We cannot mix with the people. We are holy. And we have to do exactly what the Torah has commanded us. The Hebrew people were born a humble people. We are humble. We are subservient people, individual and a community, not free to live or express themselves according to their own desire or with regard to basic human norm of the 21st century. Because we know the basic human norm now. The basic human norm is what is right 10 years ago is wrong now. What is wrong 10 years ago is right now. That is the basic human norm of now. You know, they turn everything upside down. A child can be what? A child who is born a girl can become a boy. A child that is born a boy can become a girl. You know, and they can pollute the world with all kinds of immorality. But we cannot afford to do that because we are different. That is what the Torah is saying. Yes, every Matzah has the potential to become an Hametz. But God is telling us that we have to keep our Matzah. Our Matzah to us is food and is good. Let's keep it. Why do we want to put Hametz? Why do we want to grow and ferment ourselves like the people of the world? We are not them, we are different. So Passover marks a transformation. Passover is a transformation. It's teaching us. God is teaching us what we have to do to continue to obey the path of life, the path of the Torah. Our ancestors experienced liberation in freedom, fought for throughout our history. Israel have grown to proclaim that moral purpose and ethics attached to our unique identity. The unique identity of our people, the unique identity of our tradition is that we have morality and ethics. There is morality there, and God is teaching us morality. We cannot afford to cancel it, to destroy it, because one country is telling you, if you don't do it, I sanction you. If you don't do it, I kill you. If you don't do it, I don't support you. Go. I don't need your support. As far as I have the Torah, I don't care about your support. And that is, I know people say, oh, the rabbi, because you are not a politician, that is why, because you don't know the stress that those countries or the pressure they give to those politicians. No, you allow yourself to be pressured. If you don't allow yourself to be pressured, nobody can pressure you. You have to make your stand firm. Because you are corrupt, then they can do what? They can pressure you because you have a skeleton in your cupboard. Oh, if you don't do what I told you to do, I will expose your skeleton. You behave like a chop, like a baby. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. I do everything that comes from White House. Yes sir. No. But if you don't have a skeleton, you can't do that. But if you have a skeleton, then you do it because you are afraid that you can be jailed. You are afraid because they can expose you, right? That is it. But if you don't have any skeleton, you have only the Torah. You stand firm on the Torah. Let God judge. People think that, I don't want there is no God. The time will come, and the day is near, when you see the power of God. So Israel is of God. We are servants of the Most High. Okay? Israel is not independent. If Israel is not free, no. As far as we have the yoke of the Torah on our neck, we are not free. We cannot be as the people of the world because the yoke of the Torah is right here. And God, that we say, oh, what God has said we will do, we will obey. And that promise and that covenant is made with blood, not with any other thing. So we cannot take it away from our hand and say, I wasn't there, it doesn't concern me, I don't care. The judgment will come on you because your forefather said, our forefather, they said it. And we say, okay, we will do. Those who are here and those who are not here. So why are we now saying that it is not true? It is absolutely true. So we have the potential to become Hametz. But God saying, you shall remain a Matzah. Matzah is good. It's simple. The simplicity. It's not complicated. It's not hard at all. Why are we making things hard? Hametz, on the other hand, okay, so before that, okay, unleavened bread suggests modesty. Matzah is every good intention or simple truth, humbleness, which exalts a man in the sight of God. That is Matzah, and that is Israel. Hametz, on the other hand, is every good intention exploited, every simple truth disguised. Pride, wantonness, never enough, greed. That is Hametz. Yeah, I don't have enough. Even though the whole world is yours, it's never enough. You have the gold in the whole universe. No, it's not enough. I must dominate by force. I must kill as far as if I don't have it, I will kill. That is not what the Torah is saying. That is not what God is saying. God is saying, be simple. Keep calm. Watch what I'm going to do for you. Remember, we panicked when we left Egypt. And when the Egyptians were coming, right? There is sea in the front. The Egyptians are running after us. And the fire that God put to defend between us and the Egyptians, God took it away. Oh, I know. Some of us will say, this God is a wicked God. Why did you take away the fire? I think this fire is defending me from the Egyptians, and now you're taking it away. Why are you doing this? This is wrong. Do you want to kill me? I know your plan. Your plan is to kill me. But God has another plan. Because we are quick to judge. We point one finger, but the rest is pointed back to us. God said, don't worry. Tell them. God told Moshe, tell them. These Egyptians that you see today, we shall see them no more. Keep calm. Don't panic. The Lord God of your father shall fight for you, and you shall keep your shalom. Did he say, I will fight for myself? The Torah said, you Israel shall fight for yourself and keep your shalom? No! The Torah said, God shall fight for you. It is God that fights for Israel. It is God that fights for us, for me and you. We have no power of our own. We cannot fight for ourselves. We put everything in God's hand. Let God fight. But that doesn't mean that you do like this, and be... No. You have to do your own part. And what is your part? Follow the Torah. Stand firm in the Torah. Do what is good and right. Do justice. And see if God will fight for you. God will surely fight for you. We didn't fight for ourselves in Egypt. God fought for us. And we became victorious. We came out with our hand heads up. With our head heads up. We become rich. Super rich. Because God of Israel fought for us on that day. Why do you want to start making a mess of the Torah? Why do we want to make a mess of the Torah? Why do we want to make a mess of the land of God, of the Holy Land? The land of our fathers. Why are we making it a mess? Because somebody in White House said, if you don't do it, I sanction you. Or I won't support you. You have to follow gay and follow evil things, immorality. When our tradition is all about moral and ethics, about good things, about the will of God for man. We, Israel, has to lead them unto God. Now, it's as if they are leading us to God. Does it make sense? Israel has to lead man to God. That is his purpose. That's why it cannot mix. That is why it's holy. That is why Israel is different. As water cannot mix with oil, Israel can never mix with the people. We're different. What we can do, they cannot do. What they can do, we can't do. We can't afford to do that. Because when we do that, we get punished. Because we know more than that. To whom much is given, much is expected. We know more than that. So why are we messing around? On Passover, we turn our basic need for food and nourishment into the symbolic agent through which we express our faith and personal value. This is the lesson we understand from the Torah in God's command to ancient Israel's priests about the people's offering. Ritual without ethics is also ritual without meaning. The physical process of cleaning, preparing, and changing our home and kitchen is intended to inform us of our spiritual identity. Pesach embodies our highest aspiration in life, values that must become genuine and personal for each of us, not only on Pesach, but should be all year round. Not, I'm going to clean my house only on Pesach. When I mean your house, I'm not talking only about the physical house. I mean your internal house, the inside one. Oh, I'm going to fast. God. And the other part of the year, hallelujah. I can defraud people. I can commit evil. I can do bad things. But on Pesach, I become holy. No, it should be all year round. Not only that, and that is what God is a teaching that God is teaching us that we can see. That's why I tell us it's a kind of teaching that God is showing us through the Torah, through all these festivals. Listen, watch, understand it. Once you understand it, nobody can mess around with you because you understand what God is teaching. But if you don't understand, people will turn you here, they turn you here, they tell this is what the Torah means, this one, this one means, this one, because you become confused. Because this one brings this one, this one brings. But once you understand that basic principle that God requires holiness, it's just about holiness, it's about separation. Separate yourself from them. You are not the same with them. So, it is this Hebrew perspective and sense of personal ethics that brings meaning to the sacred part of our life. That is it. This ethics. It is this truth of the Torah that we have, that you cannot afford to be like them. Me and you cannot afford it, because we have the yoke of the Torah on our neck. Because I know what is right. And it says, woe is the man that know what is right, but refuse to do it. If you don't know, it's different, because you don't know. God will judge you according to what you know. But you know, but you refuse to do what is good. Woe is the man that know what is right, but do not do what is right. Why do I want to become condemned when I know what is right and I refuse to do what is right? So let us do what is right. The Torah of this morning, I know, I'm connecting it to that of last week. Every Yaakov has Esau. And every Matzah is potential Hametz. We can go to the dark side. But God said, don't go to the dark side. Remain on the side of light. So on the side of justice, on the side of the truth, on the side of Emet, on the side of the Torah. Parshas Emor. Shabbat Shalom.